Stuck in the struggle, feeling the squeeze. Wanna save some cash and live with ease. Naomi is here, your money guide, helping you grow and turn the tide. Let's talk money, it's time to thrive on Rhythm 95.5. Budget, save, invest and win. Tune in, now let the wealth begin. Let's talk money with Naomi, only on Rhythm 95.5.
And a very pleasant good afternoon to everyone tuned in. That's right, going right into Let's Talk Money, or rather, Let's Talk Insurance, right here on Rhythm 95.5.
True.
That's right, we're continuing from what we started off in June. Yeah, so we have Naomi on the inside, financial strategist. Hey.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
And of course, our insurance advisor.
Yes.
Hey.
For now.
Let me ask you. You know what? I'll just leave that
All
alone.
right.
You know, like what I was going to ask. You know, I'll leave it alone. So yeah. We're gonna do that again.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we have our insurance advisor on the inside.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Husband
Mr.
Small.
Husband Small.
Husband
Hey.
All right.
Hello. All right. So Miss Jean, what's up?
Everything is good. I feel like we had a whole show off air before we came on, you
Oh
know.
my god.
You know what? You need to blame yourself for that, because you are depriving my wonderful listeners of vital information. I'm just saying, this is one of the reasons I put on my headphones and I was just dancing to my praises. You know what I'm saying?
True,
Praises.
true.
Because, you know. So maybe we need to dip back into that conversation
could
from
dip
off
back
air.
into it.
Yeah, we can just give them a brief summary of what we are discussing. But so, for example, we were asking questions like, you know, can I insure my mouth since? Well, that was Steve a question, guy. I'm just
Yeah,
repeating.
yeah.
Can I
So
insure
a
my mouth
certain
since that's,
person-
you know, yeah. Since that's what I use to make my money.
Correct.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Husband is going to give us the answer to that. And also, we added the other question was, why can't I add my parents onto my medical
Onto my
insurance,
medical,
especially when they're at an age where I'm fully responsible for taking care of them?
So why can't
so
I?
he's give us a summary of it.
Okay, so the fun one first. Can
Yeah.
I insure my mouth? In Saint Lucia right now, probably not. But in other countries of the world where they have a lot more mouths that are very important, yes, most likely. And it kind of connects to the other question.
You know, that felt so sad.
Like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so
Let me
so-
clarify.
Okay, yeah.
So insurance works on this principle where the number of individuals that are in the market
Right.
have a really big part to play on how able we are to even insure something.
Okay.
Because the idea of insurance is basically spreading the cost of something bad happening amongst a large group of individuals. So back in the day, a long time ago, you know, if I had a boat and I wanted to make sure that my boat was safe on the high seas, I know Peter have a boat too, and Frederick have a boat too. The three of us will say, well, boy, let's all put our money together just in case one of our boats go down in the water. So whoever it end up happening to, because at some point it's going to happen to somebody, will have money there available. Or if Auntie Joan, poor job Auntie Joan taking licks every time we come on air. So if Auntie Joan there and Uncle Ricky there and the whole family is there, we'll put our money together just in case somebody ends up getting sick or somebody passes away.
Right.
So that if that something happens to that individual, we have money available. Bringing it back to the mouth, the powerful mouth, the mouth that making all the money in Saint Lucia there right now.
And bring it back to we wanting
In
our
that-
parents on it.
Exactly,
I
and
mean-
bringing it back to that. There's not many individuals who would see the need right now to insure their mouth specifically outside of maybe having a health insurance plan. right?
Listen, I have a comment I would have made, but
You think they have a lot of people there?
you know what? Let's talk about the other thing because I have a comment.
We'll leave that there.
You
Yeah,
will
we'll
save the comment for later.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's going
yeah,
to be
yeah, yeah.
reserved because it's a little petty, so I'll leave it alone.
Got you, no problem.
Yes,
no problem.
we're moving along.
I am
No
happy
problem.
to move along. As per parents, right? This is a
Right.
question that we get asked a lot as advisors. Why can't I get my mom on a health insurance plan and I take the plan for her? Here in Saint Lucia, I don't think I cannot say for all companies. I know for a surgical, you wouldn't be able to take a plan for your mom or your dad or your parent, somebody that's older than you, right? You can. Hey, I see a question.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is like, okay, so if I take a plan,
Yes.
right, an insurance plan,
Uh-huh.
and I want to add my mom as a benefactor
Or a dependent.
a dependent,
Yes.
can I? Why can't? Is this where we're going? Is
That's
this what
where
you're
we're
saying?
going.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to.
Okay,
I can add my children
you can.
I
Okay.
can add my children. I can add my spouse.
to the plan,
Yes.
but I can't add my parents.
Why can't I add my parents?
And I cannot add my uncle either.
And I
Well,
cannot
for
add
sure
my
not.
uncle. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So please, now that I understand exactly what we're talking about, please carry on.
Carry
with your
on.
explanation.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not that it's an impossibility with insurance, because in some countries it is possible. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine from India maybe last year, and he was telling me how he wanted to get some coverage for his parents in India. He could not get it here, so he needed to go to an international insurance company who has a much larger market, right? So there are many more people where the cost is spread across. And because of that now, the company is able to allow you to insure your parents
Gotcha.
because they have a wider pool of individuals who are interested in that specific service. And then the number of cases where it ends up being a loss for the insurance companies significantly small enough whereby they think it's okay for us to take it on because we'll have the money available for us to pay out a claim if we need to.
Me see, this is where the math beating us, you know.
The math beating us.
yeah.
That's why we have actuaries.
And I think most of what you say there would lead into our next question.
Let's go.
Steve, because, okay, noting that because we're in the Caribbean,
Yes.
we're probably at a slightly disadvantage.
Yes, we are.
We can't get, like, sometimes you watch the TV and you see people insurance, they insure their legs, they insure their arms, whatever. But we can't do that.
Yeah, you're not going to make me talk about insuring my mouth, eh?
Yeah, so we are at a disadvantage. We can't insure our mouth, even if that's what we use to make money, okay? So
Now, mind you, when we said insure your mouth, there are two ways that we can look at it from. Because you can look at it from the stance of, I want to ensure that if something happens to my mouth, I can get the necessary medical care for it. You will get that coverage underneath a health insurance plan. You'll get money to be able to go to the doctor and fix up your mouth, right? But when you're looking at it,
to what extent?
And is this like a regular medical insurance?
Yeah, that's
it's a regular medical. That's a medical situation. You fall and you broke your jaw. The medical insurance is going to cover taking care of that.
We got you.
You understand? But then now, what I was referring to when I say insuring your mouth, I was referring to, let's say, your income capability.
Yeah.
So you are dependent on your mouth for your income, and you can put a number to it. But hence in Lucia, you may not be able to insure it to get replacement income if your mouth gets injured.
Yeah.
Down here in Saint Lucia, that may be difficult for us.
Yeah,
But in other countries, right,
Right.
it would be more possible or realistic.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's what we were referring to as it pertains to the mouth.
Right. So with that being said,
Yes.
and noting that you might feel disappointed that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Persons already have the thing that, insurance say volet, they all lying, they cheating you, they this, they that.
Name me all now there. I just pulling a wool over everybody I now there. Because I'm an insurance agent. So that's what I'm doing all nowadays.
Yeah. So, we're pulling the wool. But then the question is, how do I know if an insurance company is trustworthy?
Okay. So there are a couple of things that you can look at. for sure word of mouth is a key factor. So if everybody that go there telling you that, boy, I go there, I insure my car, I get into my first accident ever, and they tell me they're not paying the claim. And one person tell you that, okay, maybe you one person, 5, 10 individuals tell you the same thing about the same company. It's like,
That's a red flag.
that fella selling a car for people, and every time they buy a car, the carburetor not working, or they have a hole in a tire or something like that, then probably I shouldn't go and buy a car from that person. Same concept applies.
So we look for the red flags.
So we look for the red flags in terms of people's experiences with an institution. We look at the red flags when we look at their social media presence as well. So is this person on, or is this business or this individual online? Are they regularly posting? What are the comments looking like under their content? How many likes do they normally get? What are the views like? You know?
I was also thinking reviews on
Reviews.
their websites.
Exactly. On their websites as well as on Google Maps, because Google Maps permits reviews as well, right? In all of these different places, that's the things that you want to kind of look for when you're looking at evaluating how good an insurance company or an insurance professional is. Right? What else? You can look at the company's performance as well, right? Because I think here in Saint Lucia, we had a really bad experience back in the early 2000s, I think, or the 1990s, with a large insurance company. It was an international company. It was in the 2000s, I believe, that happened, right? And I think it was called British America or something like that. Sorry, I'm young. But quite a few individuals complained of having a very negative experience as a result of the company not continuing to be alive, basically. So the financials of a company, the processes that they take, if you're going through a process with an insurance company, it's almost like they don't want to sell the insurance to you. Chances are you're getting a very secure company. Because when it does come time for them to pay, they will pay their premium, because they went through all the processes. They made sure that you're not a crazy risk or anything like that, you know. They did. If you're getting it easy, you need to be careful when you're looking on the other end of things. Because the payment will not come easy like that.
Well, let me tell you. Husband, we're going to take a very, very short break here. Micro. You know, but since we're under the topic of like all insurance companies are liars. That's what we're saying. And we're back with some more Let's Talk Money. We had to take a brief break, but we're back. Yes. So, anyone remember where we stopped?
Yes. So before we continue, Ben, I want to touch on one of Steve's questions.
Yes.
But before I touch on one of Steve's questions, one question probably someone might ask. You know, now we have MASA, which does the emergency air ambulance. So you go on a plan and you pay for it in the event you or anybody on your family. It covers it. If somebody wants to know, is that something, that air ambulance service, is that something that can only be offered by applying for MASA, or they can also get it with their insurance?
Okay, so I can't speak for everybody else, but I can say for Surgical, we do have air ambulance on our insurance. So if you have a health insurance plan with Surgical, you will get access to air ambulance if you need it. I think we
So
also even...
So they don't need to do a separate air ambulance plan, because it will be covered.
They don't need to. If they have a Surgical plan, health insurance plan, they don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't need to.
So is it like all levels of Surgical health or health plan, or all levels?
Yes.
All levels.
The only circumstance where you might not have it is if when you were going through, let's say, a group plan, the company specifically told Surgical that they do not want the air ambulance attached to the plan. But outside of that, if you're going for a private plan, you will have it on there.
Ooh, okay.
And a nice little thing to add into there, in certain circumstances, they can even facilitate one extra person going with you to wherever you need to go to. Right?
That would make sense because I mean, if I'm on the air ambulance, that's mean I can't do anything.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
Yeah.
So and it's always two-way.
Okay, round trip.
Okay,
So
so
Round
round
trip.
trip.
So
Yeah.
we're not going over there and
then
have
after
to
find your
alter
way
it.
back. No.
Yeah.
no.
That's
Unless
the
immigration
situation.
pick you up.
Yes. These days ICE taking everybody everywhere.
Yes. So you get a round trip, you come back home safely, so they don't have to deport you.
Exactly. Lovely.
Okay.
Something that really just came to my mind there. That is a powerful statement you made there, and that's one of the reasons why certain countries will require you to have travel insurance.
That's true. Because even to go to Martinique, you need travel insurance.
Exactly. So travel insurance is almost like a mini life, health, and critical illness plan that you take for a period of time, right? But if you do get into some kind of a bind whilst you overseas, they'll basically take care of you, and you have the facilities available to make sure payments are taken care of.
Right.
So it's something to be mindful of, people. I know that we as Saint Lucians are becoming a lot more savvy when it comes to different types of insurances, particularly the travel insurance, because a lot more we get into use it going to Martinique and other places. But you can also use it when you're going to the US. You're applying for your visa, you're applying for something else like that. It's not a for sure granted that they're going to give you an approved visa, but it's something that can help in your visa application if you can say, hey, I have travel insurance for this amount, so I don't need your country's insurance when I get over there.
Okay.
You understand?
I see.
So all of these are different things that can help you when you go in for your documentation and all of that. Yes.
Right. So now that we're on travel insurance, I think it's perfect timing to bring in the question Steve would have asked us.
Yes.
About the combos.
Oh, combos.
Yeah. Not KFC combos.
Not
guys.
KFC
We're
combos.
doing insurance combos.
Insurance
So
So
combos.
there's that. So I want to know.
Can you mix and match?
Yeah, so is travel insurance something that will automatically probably come with my medical, or I need to do a combo for it to be added to it?
Okay, so this is something fun that I myself have learned recently, like maybe within the last 4 months. You can, if you have a health insurance plan already, in certain circumstances and to certain countries, you can just use your health insurance plan as your insurance.
Yeah.
So you may not have to go and get a separate travel insurance.
Right.
But certain circumstances, so you always have to ask with the provider, who's ever. So you can either confirm with the provider of your coverage, whether it be surgical or otherwise, or you can touch base with the company that's facilitating your travels to confirm whether they would accept your health coverage.
And I think in most cases they do accept the health coverage, because what they want to know is when you travel, if something happened,
whether it will be taken care of. Exactly.
Yeah, health
Exactly.
wise.
And certain companies on island will also extend their health coverage outside of the country where you are.
Right.
So like we have a card, the surgical care card, where you can actually use it in certain countries outside of Saint Lucia. Right?
Great.
So all of that is
Get
beneficial.
your surgical care card, Steven.
If you
when
haven't
you
gotten
say
it, get
certain
it.
countries, when you say certain countries,
The US, Canada, the main ones basically, as well as within the
The
OACS,
region?
yes, the
Okay.
region, because surgical operates throughout the entire region as well.
and you're telling me there still isn't enough numbers. We still don't have enough numbers for me to be able to insure my mouth.
Well,
I find y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong. Someone needs to go back and do a survey or something. And I mean, like, if St. Lucians, I think if we knew about this option, not just under
because
medical.
Saint like to talk, that's what you're saying.
I said I would not comment.
Okay.
This
All
is one
right.
of the reasons I said
You
I
want me
would
that
not
say it,
comment. This is one of the reasons I said I would not comment, but I think like a lot of us would want
We have a lot
to.
of professional talkers, in our country. And
That is lovely, wonderfully said.
All
Yes.
right. So
A
what's the
lot
next
of us don't
question?
get paid for it,
Yes,
but
and so I think,
Yes.
Steven, did we get out all the questions from our head?
I don't know what other questions do we have?
combos. Sorry, I didn't fully
Oh,
answer
you didn't
that.
finish answer the combos.
Yes.
Give us some example
So
of
in
combos
terms
we
of
can get.
combos, right? That's a my manager actually just brought me in a meeting like on Monday, telling us, hey
that was
guys.
yesterday, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
They must be heard about our combo question last
No,
week.
I didn't even mention it in the
on
meeting. The guy
Wednesday.
came up and he said, hey guys.
So you probably watched
You
the
ha-
YouTube and you didn't know.
Well, maybe, I hope. I hope.
Oh, and just informing our listeners, guys, this is actually a radio podcast. So you, after listening to the show on air, if you missed it, you can catch up on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, we also post short clips of the videos or the podcast, sorry, on our social media platforms. So feel
True.
free to hit the follow button. Find us on YouTube. Naomi will provide her
don't
handles.
forget to, when you go onto YouTube, guys, make sure you subscribe, you view, you comment. So it's at Naomi758, or you can type Naomi Financial Strategies. Subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date with all the episodes coming in. We record every Tuesday live on air. So if you want it live, you log into Rhythm FM, you get it live. But if
True.
you missed, you came in and like a few minutes late, you missed some of what we've spoken about, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get the full thing. Also follow us on our Instagram pages, Rhythm FM, and also for me at Naomi758, and you can get most of what we're speaking about.
And if you want to get more information about insurance or anything like that,
That's
you
right.
can follow me at Osborne Small. Posting has been a little bit tough recently there, but there's some amazing
some,
content
yeah,
on there that you
advice
can
up
look
there.
on and get some further advice.
I would like to also give you all my handles.
Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it.
I am Steve J. I mean, you're not Steve J. I am Steve J. You know what I'm saying? You know, I am Steve J. You know, that's where you'll find me, right?
All right.
And also, so you need a social media manager. I'm just
I
saying.
realize that.
All right.
We're working
Steve
on
is
it, Dory.
advertising, guys, and
Advertising.
smart
Hello.
to make a side hustle.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, but
So
coming back
our
to the combos.
Yeah.
So, what he was saying.
Not the snack. We're not
let me
doing
tell you,
combo
we
snacks.
jump from one and we jump to the next
Yes.
one.
All right.
So what he was saying is that some individuals, because they're coming to insurance for the first time, they'll not realize that one policy is probably not going to do everything that they need or give them everything that they can get from insurance. So now he was telling us, it'd probably be a good idea to call some of these clients and get them in with a meeting, because you may have life insurance, but life insurance will not cover your health.
Yeah.
You may have health insurance, but it may not replace your income if you become sick, right?
Yeah,
You
disability.
may have something that covers that, but you may not have anything that gives you some kind of retirement benefit down the line. So as you grow and develop yourself financially and as an individual, you will have needs, and your needs will change over time, and you'll need additional coverage of different types. I, as the advisor, can look at everything, sit down and talk to you and say, okay, maybe you need this, maybe you need that, maybe you need the other. What do you think? And then you can
where
say,
are you right now?
oh, where are you
Yeah,
right
what do
now,
you think
right?
you need
And you
just
say,
that?
okay, I want this. I've had a lot of meetings where people tell me, I want all of these things, but I can't afford all of them. I say, don't worry, my girl. Don't worry. We can take that one only for now. That's not a problem. And when things get a little better,
You add on.
we can address the rest of them. So you can take a combo, or you can take it as a side piece or whatever. That's what they do. I don't eat chicken.
I'm not sure neither. You just take a single item.
Just a single item, exactly. You have
Anything
a question there?
Okay, so when we go to KFC, right?
Talk to me.
Not necessarily in Saint Lucia, but when we go to KFC, we have the options to downsize, upsize. We also have the options to add on additional pieces.
Oh, yes.
Right, if we want to. So we're speaking about add-ons here, right?
Yes.
You can add life insurance to your medical. You can add what?
Accidents and death to
Right,
it
to your-
and all these.
Yes, so
All
there
right.
are add-ons, yes.
So beneath each of these insurances that we've mentioned, there is like an entire list of what it covers.
Yes.
Right? Is it possible to remove some of those and be able to add on
Other little things on
other
there.
from say we have health insurance? I don't think let's say I have beautiful teeth, I have wonderful teeth, I take very good care of my teeth. Maybe I'm a dentist, who knows? You know, I'm doing my own thing. and I don't feel like I need dental covered, right? But then again, dental is
medical.
It's actually optional. Some of these things are actually optional. So you can request through, let's say, oh boy, I have 20/20 vision. I eat in carrots every night before I go and sleep. And my teeth are impeccable. I can bite through a piece of metal if I had to.
Right.
Right? You can say, I don't want dental and vision, man. I'll be okay.
Okay.
And they can take it off.
Yeah, but is it possible for us to add
it will affect the premium?
Certain things from life insurance to that, so that you only have like one insurance instead of having add-ons, or in a way, I'm not sure if you're following me. We're upsizing
I'll
the
bring
plan.
an analogy that kind of helps, right?
Right.
You can ask for a zinger combo, right, at KFC.
Wait.
A zinger is a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
You can ask them to add certain things to the order. You can ask for extra mayo, or you can ask for these different kinds of things.
Right.
Yes, but you still getting a zinger. And a zinger entails certain things that you will get in a zinger. And if you're taking anything else, if you go a little too far with it of what you want to get from it, you may not be getting a zinger. Again, you're asking them for them to hand make a sandwich for you.
Right.
You understand? It's like you go to a restaurant that does Italian food. This always happens to me. I don't eat chicken. So I always tell them I want the
vegan.
I want the penne. There's a pasta Alfredo. Right. It always has chicken in it. So I say I want the Alfredo without the chicken. They say no, that's just a penne pasta. So they give me a totally different thing, right? It's what I want. It's what I asked for. But then I might not be able to ask them to put like the celery in it too, and maybe put some cabbage mixed with it. The chef might look out through the window and tell me like, yo, what really going on? And that's kind of the situation we have here. They have certain things that we can change on a policy for you, but the chef, which would be the actuary, so not even really the company. We have chefs registered to the company who are called actuaries. They go through a process of doing a lot of calculations and stuff to make sure that the products, they add this, and then they say, okay, we want to give our clients optionality so they can take out some things and add certain things. They know what they put in there already that can change, but there's a general idea of what each product is supposed to be, right? And some of them you are not really able to remove certain aspects of it. It's fixed to it. So like when you go to Subway, you get a sandwich and you choose what you want, but you may not be able to ask them to take out the piece from the veggie patty. You understand?
Gotcha.
Exactly. So that's the idea of it, really and truly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there like an insurance plan that would allow you to have like a bit of all of the different options, like health, life, vehicle? Or is it we still have to do that?
It's mix and match. We mix and match it for you, really and truly.
So this is why you need an advisor.
Pretty much. That's one of the biggest reasons. Even with just one product like a life insurance policy, us at Surgical, I think we have like maybe 5 or 6 different life policies. Each of them totally different from each other. They have different things and they'll address different aspects of your life. You don't need all of them.
Right.
You may need 1 or 2 of them. But even amongst those, you have the amount of coverage that you can get, which can be widely different, right? I mean, it has its ranges, of course. A bottom range. They don't really have a top range on it. So you can get as much coverage as you need, right? So there's a lot that you can change about a plan, and you can mix and match plans to make different combos that can address the needs of a specific individual. And having the advisor in the picture is one of the things that can help you actually achieve that goal. You understand? Yeah. So that's the idea of giving a combo there. We kind of cooking it up for you after the real big chef on the inside put the intricate under the hood, you know?
The mathematician on the inside.
Mathematician.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess that's it for Let's Talk Insurance. Today was like our pretty much wrap up of most of the questions that we would have received from clients, from persons
Right.
viewing, from ourselves.
Yes.
General questions that we know come up on a day-to-day basis. So, husband, I want to thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Money with insurance.
Yeah.
And he promised to be with us because we're going into talking about pyramid schemes.
Woo.
Okay.
So he'll be joining us.
Yes.
So both of us will give our 2 cents.
Oh yes, very much so.
So
I
that
think I have more than 2
Steve
cents
don't
to
get
give.
right.
I
so
will
that
make
Steve-
sure. I will make sure on that day when this begins, when we start talking about pyramid schemes, we have endless water to drink.
Let,
Yeah,
let me
that's next
tell
week
you.
Tuesday. So
Because
ensure.
let me tell you, we need to be
Yes.
hydrated for that.
Yeah, so that's next week Tuesday. Make sure you're properly hydrated so that we ensure.
Also, is next week we back?
Yeah,
All right.
so
All right.
that Steve
Uh-huh.
do not get herself caught in a pyramid.
In a
scheme.
pyramid scheme, yeah. We
No,
need to
no,
make
no. I'm
sure.
too skeptical for that. I'm sorry. I am one of those. I'm like, I have to ask you about 110 questions before.
I
And then
agree.
even after you answer the 110 questions, I say no.
Right.
You
Okay,
know,
so we,
so-
we know Steve is not the one to
No,
be
no,
caught
no.
in
No,
this very easily.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we will be talking about pyramid schemes. We're starting off next week, Tuesday.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
husband will be back with us speaking about it.
So when you say pyramid schemes, what are we touching on? We're looking at what to look out for to know the
That's
difference
right.
between
Yeah.
What to look out
Yes.
for, things when you see probably questions or things when you see, you know, okay, no, that's a red flag. That's a
Exactly.
or just looking at how the money is being made
Exactly.
can give you an idea that hey, something is wrong. These
Okay,
these
keep,
will
hold,
crack.
hold on.
Yeah.
Don't give them everything.
We-
Don't-
yeah,
we
yeah,
will
yeah.
discuss it
Stevens,
next
I
week.
mean, yeah.
Mwah.
Let me ask you, y'all ever spoke about Susu?
Oh no, we have
Y'all
not.
never talk about Susu there on
we
the
have
show?
never spoken about the susu.
I don't think we've spoken about it.
Nah,
No,
man,
no,
we need
no.
to talk
Yeah.
about
The
Susu.
Susu.
We will.
Well. Okay, so my listeners, are you for or against the
The
susu?
susu.
Is the susu a pyramid scheme? Is
we
it
need-
not? You know,
We need to
tune
get calls
in.
on that day. Let me hear what the
What-
people have to say about
What is
Susu.
susu? What is
What is your take on Susu?
What
That's
is
your
your
take
take
on
on
that's what we
Susu?
want them. So they will need to call in.
Yeah.
And also, after this, we also want to look at, my keys, what I call my keys to success. I will not release what they are
Okay.
right now. If persons are looking at my Instagram page, they would notice I'm speaking about it. But we're also going to look at keys to financial success.
Sounds good.
Yes.
That sounds good, like a great idea.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So these are some of the topics that are coming up, guys. So you can look out for it. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for having us, Steve. And thank you for joining us, husband. You've made the show very live. He's made the
Is
show.
she ready to throw it on the mic? Thank you,
Because
she's
she's been
saying
so
so.
excited, right?
Thank you,
Yeah,
she's
he's
saying
made the
so.
show very exciting.
Right.
So thanks once again. And don't forget, guys, make sure you go onto the YouTube channel and subscribe.
It'd be a
and check
great
us out.
favor.
That's right.
Definitely. Would love it. Really
Support your people.
appreciate it. Support your people.
Yeah.
Give me
All
my
right.
roses while I'm still alive.
That's
Oh.
right.
All right. So, everyone, this has been Let's Talk Money. Until next week, Tuesday, when we do it all over again with new topics, though. Yeah, everyone, keep safe.
Yeah.
Are you stuck in the struggle, feeling the squeeze? Wanna save some cash and live with ease? Naomi is here, your money guide, helping you grow and turn the tide. Let's talk money, it's time to thrive on Rhythm 95.5. Budget, save, invest and win. Tune in, now let the wealth begin. Let's talk money with Naomi, only